Someone did.
It's not on the website. I don't know what's been going on with it. Maybe go run up and grab the file. Just read whatever it is.
That was $10, right?
Yeah, hold on. Thank you.
It's not here.
I know every year we have that. Does that include fireworks?
It doesn't include campfires.
So like, if
Like
you make
personal,
a camp,
yeah.
like a little campfire with rocks in the backyard, you can do that.
I believe so. Joyce would know better than me.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I think so. Well, yeah, might not be the right thing. They do, right?
What's today? 12.
That you have to be on that if we did that. Yeah. That's what he said.
Stay.
All right, we all set?
Yeah.
So this is the, we have a public hearing before the regular meeting. It's April 12th. This is the Tim Geyer public hearing. Would Olivia attendance, please?
Cliff Robuffo,
Here.
Art Christie,
Here.
Joanne Cal,
Here.
John Horn,
Here.
Alan Shiner, Sam Spada,
Here?
Vivian Wilton. Here.
Would you kindly read the notice?
Absolutely. Notice is hereby given that the Town of Shandaken Planning Board will hold a public hearing pursuant to Section 274 and/or 276 of state law and as prescribed by the District Schedule of Area Bulk Regulations of the Shandaken Town Code for the purpose of hearing the following applicant regarding an application for a special use permit submitted by Tim Geyer on behalf of Michael Ferrari and Maxine Sherman for a parcel located at 28-32 Schoolhouse Road, Shandaken, New York 12480, indicated as SBL number 25.15-1-11.100, located in a residential 1.5 acre zoning district. The applicant would like to convert an existing barn into an accessory dwelling. The public hearing is scheduled for April 12th at 7 p.m. at the Shandaken Town Hall. Anyone who would like to make comment regarding this application may do so during the public hearing. If you are unable to attend, you can send any comments you would like read during the public hearing to shandakenbldg@gmail.com or P.O. Box 134, Shandaken, New York 12480. All comments must be received no later than April 12th, 2023 at 3 p.m.
Thank you. Is anyone here from the public to speak about this project, this application? Okay, any further comments from the board at this time on this application? Being that we're still waiting for some materials from him, I think it's probably best that we keep the public hearing open. If I could get a motion to that effect.
So moved.
Second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we'll move on to the regular meeting. If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting?
Yes? Yep.
Yes.
Any comments, changes, spelling mistakes?
There's one spelling mistake. I wasn't gonna say it.
In my defense, I was kidding.
No. For the future, perk test, it says C instead of a K. Let's put percolation. So, okay.
If there are no further comments, motion to approve the minutes?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, old business. Butcher this, Watania. That was a lot line adjustment. Yes, please, yes. I can share one here.
Okay.
That's in two different counties.
Yeah, I think it is.
No, this is the one on Spizax, guys.
That's actually, would someone to face, please?
Oh, yes, I remember this one.
Proposed new line.
Could you place this smart camera?
This is from this line. This line. This is a different school.
1.5 acre zone, I think it is.
I don't know if people have questions.
Hold on, it might be over here.
Do you have a stamped copy of this?
Oh, that's the only copy.
Grace, this is a 1.5 zone, residential 1.5.
One second. I'd have to check. It might be 3.
Well, it looks like he's still gonna make it then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even with 3, he's gonna make it. Thank you. Nothing's changed since you were here the last time? No.
You don't have the application?
Yeah, it's right here.
What section are they in?
Sorry, that's what I was looking for. It doesn't show it on here.
What's the size of the lots in that area?
I'm sorry?
The lot area, is it 1.5, 3, what is it?
It's 1.5 or 3. I don't know. I didn't know he was gonna be here tonight, so I didn't look, but either way, he meets it, he's over 3 on both lots.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And everything looks fine to me, we just need stamped maps of the surveyor. Yeah. Just if you have him, just mail him to the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can, it should, no, he could do it tomorrow, probably. We just can't enter, we can't use those stamp maps. Yeah, I don't have any further comments on this,
No?
No.
as long as, I just said we just need stamped copies of the plan, so I think the approval should be pending receipt of,
Yeah.
of stamped, maps.
Okay.
Nobody in the ordinance for this?
Public hearings for lot line adjustments.
Yeah, okay, all right. So nothing's changed from the last
Nobody
review
was
then?
there, right. Okay, good.
Just need a motion to approve pending, pending receipt.
I make a motion to approve the lot line adjustment application
Pending receipt.
pending receipt of a
Of the
stamped
stamped map.
map by the surveyor.
Okay.
once they submit it here, then I can get.
Yeah, you don't have to come to another meeting. If you get them here, she'll let me know and then I'll come in and sign you and then you're good.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Tell your surveyor you need a Mylar copy and 7 paper copies, stamped. He'll know what it means.
Yeah, he knows what it is.
He'll know what it means.
Oh,
Just
no.
tell me you need 1 Mylar and 7 papers.
It's like clear plastic. The county requires it.
That's it.
That's it. You're all set. Yeah.
We didn't vote on
Who
that.
seconded that?
No one
Oh, we need-
seconded,
We need a,
Vivian's.
yeah, we need a roll call.
We need a second.
Vivian second.
No,
I made the motion.
Vivian made a
Vivian
motion.
read the motion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, roll call vote. Cliff Rebuffo,
Yes.
Art Christie,
Yes.
Joanne Cow,
Yes?
John Horn,
Yes.
Alan Shiner, Sam Spada,
Yes.
Vivian Wilton.
Yes.
Before we go a little any further and I forget,
All right.
Cliff.
can I
Yes.
say something before?
Yes.
I don't wanna forget. Can we send a sympathy card
Of course.
to Alan from the board?
Of course.
He lost his wife.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody
Yeah.
knows that, but-
Yeah.
Cliff sent out an email about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Take care.
John. Okay, so next on the agenda is Crossroads Ventures. They, are you the representative?
Yes, I am. Thank you. My name is Tom Shepherdson. I'm an attorney with Whiteman, Osterman, and Hanna. And I'm here on behalf of Crossroads and the Bel Air project. I don't really have too much more to add than the letter that we submitted, which indicates we're still working with the state in our attempts to transfer the High Mount Ski Center, which hasn't occurred yet, so the project hasn't moved forward. And so we're here to request that the board grant another year's extension of our special use permit, site plan approval.
We can barely hear you.
I'm sorry.
Is the microphone on?
Yes.
Can you just repeat that, please?
Yes, I didn't have much to add to the letter that we submitted, which indicates that we have, we're still working with the state on the transfer of the High Mount Ski Center, which has not occurred yet. And that's the primary reason why we are here tonight, asking the board for an extension of our prior approvals, the special use permit and the site plan approval.
for the original application, I've been on the planning board a few years, but that was a few years ago. What is the timeline that's proposed after this transfer takes place? Then what would be the next step and the next step and next? Because obviously, there's no building permit issued, so that's why
correct.
this is even an issue.
That's correct.
So could you explain, please?
Well, I mean, the process of the developer is Crossroads. They're seeking to partner with or sell to another developer with capital and finances that can actually build the project. So once this ski center transfer happens, which is a prerequisite to any future development of the property by either my client or another developer, nothing can happen. So, once it happens, at that point in time, there'd be a developer with, in hand, with cash, with capital, with financing available to build a project.
Do you have people already stepping up?
We have been in contact, from my client, he's been in contact with other representatives, banks, lenders, other developers for that purpose, for that exact purpose.
But I'm just saying, do you have any interest expressed so far?
Yes, but not until this prerequisite occurs, which is the transfer of the ski center. There's no interest until that happens.
So you don't know how much interest there will be at that point, because
We-
no one has really gotten to that point with you?
The people that my client has talked to has indicated they are very interested in the project, but the prerequisite has to occur first. So there's really nothing to move forward with until that happens.
Mhm. And then, let's say you do get this interested party with the financing. What kind of timeline then before you're actually ready to get a building permit?
I think that's a pretty variable type of question. I really don't think I can answer that question.
Right, I mean, it's a complicated
It's
question to
very
answer, yeah.
complicated, yes.
Because I'm just trying to foresee, I see we have a comprehensive plan now in committee, and I know our neighboring town has instituted a moratorium on new development approvals because they want to put this comprehensive plan in place. So I'm just trying to see, we don't really want, I'm just saying we don't really want to be stuck with a plan that doesn't fit our new comprehensive plan unless there's some kind of urgency about, getting it going. But it sounds like you're pretty much in the same situation as you were originally.
A year ago, I'd say that's accurate, yes.
Right, but originally when you got the first approval, wasn't it the same situation?
It was the same, well, it was a similar situation, but when those approvals were first granted, there was a series of lawsuits too that also delayed any action on moving this project forward, because no bank would entertain any financing possibility while there's litigation pending, which I believe ended in the 2018-2019 time frame. So there was literally nothing that could have been done pending the resolution resolution of the litigation.
Right. And then at that point, the state was free to make that transaction.
I would say, the state and getting the state's attention, and we've been through now, we had one administration, now we're into another administration with new faces, new people. We had a pandemic, interrupt another year and a half that went by, and it was tough to get the state's attention, during that time frame. So, there are many factors that are out there that's, help, get us to where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the request, for our extension of these approvals.
I'm asking all these questions, but this is the first chance I've ever had to ask these questions because you're here in front of us. So I don't mean to be, confrontive with you, but I just want all these questions answered so that I can feel confident in what you're
Not a problem.
asking.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah. So how would you describe the situation with the state now? Are they favorable? Are they saying, oh, it's just a matter of paperwork, or are they still debating whether to do it?
I'm not directly involved with what's going on with the state negotiation. Another lawyer from my office is, from what I understand. The state still wants to go through with the transaction. It's getting their attention, getting the details down, and like you said, the paperwork.
Has the price been agreed on?
I don't know.
I think that may have been a problem in the past, from what I heard.
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I think we're starting to get beyond the scope of
Yeah, I'm
an
just-
extension here.
I'm trying to see how feasible this project is at this point in time. That's what my purpose in asking is, because I'm looking at the code book, and it's a new thing that they put in 1999 that makes the expiration of the special use permit occur if there's no building permit within a year. And I'm thinking there's a reason why that was put in 1999, and so I was asking people who have some, knowledge of planning board stuff, in other towns, and they're saying that's to avoid this kind of situation where a project just keeps going and going and going with no progress, and then there's a possible change in the comprehensive plan. So that's why I'm grilling him. So that I think that's pretty much what I needed to know. Thank you.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, we did receive a letter stating that the planning board does not have the authority to renew, but we do in fact have the authority to renew. There have been several cases stating such. I reached out to the town lawyer to confirm as well, and we're good on that front. So, that being said, if anyone has no further comments, I'd like a motion to renew the project for an additional year.
Yeah. I'd like just to point out too that this was kind of a unique situation going through COVID, political changes and unrest and whatever, so.
I understand, and that's why I was okay with renewing it after
Two-decade
COVID,
review
even though
process.
they didn't have a year when they asked for a renewal. COVID was a big deal, so.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking maybe now that we're out of that stage, we should think a little bit. That's my feeling. I don't feel comfortable with just rubber stamping it at this point. I'd like to really see some progress.
Well, I think if we don't extend it, we're not gonna be able to see any more.
Anything.
I mean, can we extend it with conditions, like for a year and then that's it? Or, without any progress? Because I mean, if he's saying that the state is interested and there's a new administration, that they're settled now, and, if it's on the verge, yeah, I think we need to give him some time.
Yes. Do you realize, like, the Baptist camp, they kept renewing their permit because they didn't have the money to do what that, and we kept renewing it until they finally built
Right.
it if they want.
Right.
I mean, it's more a case of home rule that we would lean on.
I'm sorry, the case of what?
Home rule.
Uh-huh.
This is the town of Shandaken, and we don't bow to all these, if we think it's a viable project,
I don't think
we back it.
I don't think anyone on this board wants to renew this for the rest of our lives.
Right.
I mean, I think there is a time limit, but I don't know what
Right.
that time limit is yet.
I would
I just know
propose
it's
we
not
renew
this
for
year.
a year with the condition that if there's no progress, that,
We really can't put a condition.
Yeah,
on it.
I don't accept
Yeah, I
that.
don't think so either.
I mean, you know what progress could be? Doing perk tests. That could be progress.
well, I agree.
We're
I agree,
negotiating
yeah.
with the state.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, I mean,
while they're
it-
negotiating
right.
for the high mount
Mhm.
property, I think that we have to go ahead.
It can
and
take
give
half a
them-
year to get a residential septic approved.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know whether any of that has been done, so, to me, it's just a project on paper at this point.
Well, they
And I
should
think
put
that
enough,
this
they should
this
put enough
thing in
money
the-
into it and enough interest,
sorry.
I mean.
They put enough money for 19 years into that project.
Right.
So I think that, for 19 years, their application was reviewed by this board.
Mhm.
And I think that we could give them a little longer than the few years that we've given them.
Yeah. Plus COVID is 3 to 4 years.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We were shut down for most of 2020.
yeah.
We couldn't
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
review anybody for anything.
yeah. So having to
Okay.
pass for the year they didn't,
All right.
didn't ask
So
for
you
a
made the
renewal.
motion?
No, I didn't make a motion.
Oh, I thought you did.
Excuse me, if you guys are prepared to vote on this tonight, would you entertain public input on the subject?
No. 19 years, Brian. 19 years, they
No.
fought the
You
project.
issued this permit on the basis of information that dates back to 2002 and 2003. That's what was in the AIP. You know,
Do you really think that they should file a new application?
I absolutely think that the circumstances in Shandaken have changed radically.
What
since this
effect-
board first
I have a
approved the
question.
project. Yeah.
A gentleman came from the Catskill Heritage Alliance to talk to us. He said that they felt that it was detrimental to the other hamlets. I want to know how it's
Sorry,
detrimental.
I don't know who that was or why they said it or what the relevance of that is. What I'm saying is, you have the ability, you are expressing a willingness to vote on this, to extend, this permit for yet another year. It's not entirely clear to me and to many people who've looked at that what's happened over these last 5 or 6 years has been lawful. Okay, I understand perhaps Paul Keller now thinks maybe it was. I don't know whether that's true or not. I'm just saying to you that this is a permit that was issued by this board many years ago based on data that goes back to the early years of the 21st century. It's based on socioeconomic data that has zero relevance today. Things are totally different in Shandaken now than they were when this project was first proposed in this room in October of 1999. Okay? And you're making it sound like, nothing. Look, I brought with me something, the Venetia Times, that I published in 2002, which is a rundown of all the particulars, what exactly is involved in the creation of this, the number of everything from square footage.
Forget that. What's your objection?
It's the biggest project in the entire Catskill region proposed in the last
Please,
quarter
Brian,
century.
stay
And
down,
you guys
though.
are just like, oh yeah, well, fine, we'll just renew it for another year. We'll see if they can come up with the money again. It doesn't matter that things are not the same in Shandaken.
What?
There's a process. You guys have to, this is your obligation here.
Well,
You
what
have
is
to
your
make sure-
objection to this? What is the objection?
The objection to it is that you want to reissue this permit based on, ancient data. It's not, these people.
What data? I don't
This is a new
understand.
project in this decade, then the developer needs to come and present to the town board what they actually want to do. I mean, you approved a $300 million project. This is like a $1.something billion project now. It's not the same project.
But it's got nothing to do with you. It only has to do with the developer.
It has to do with everybody in Shandaken. It has to do with quality of life in Shandaken, the use of the public resources. Come on.
Bob,
I'm saying it's not,
Bob,
it's
go
all
ahead.
of us.
I understand your problem, but let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Are you going to get New York State to reimburse this project for that 1,200 acres they had to surrender to the state to get approval for this
It's
permit?
of no interest to me what
Well, you don't care about that.
consequences to the developer who bought 2,000 acres starting in 1998 to build a project, and now, it's gone through a number of iterations. Land has been sold to the state. Now you're saying you think that the state should buy it. Come on. This is.
Have there been any changes to the application, to the proposal?
Zero.
That we approved? Then this is just a question of extending. The review process is done and
Done.
over with.
They can't review this again.
When did you review this? How long ago did you actually review this? Instead of just rubber stamping the
Brian,
permit for the
calm
last
down
6
though.
years?
Calm down.
I have a question. I read in the newspapers several times that the timeshares on the project are now proposed to be condos. Is that correct?
Well, there is the hope that potentially the timeshare aspect of the project would eventually turn into condo use, yes.
So it's only a hope,
At this point, yes.
but it was reported in the newspaper as a plan.
I can't,
But it's
I
not a
didn't read the
plan?
newspaper.
They're not allowed to make any changes. This is,
Right.
We are-
we're
Uh-huh.
extending the existing application. They're not allowed to make any changes.
Okay,
If
so.
there are any changes, we'll be back before the board.
That's right. If there
Yes.
are changes, you'll have to come before us again.
Yep.
Right.
So what we're discussing right now is an extension on the original application.
Yes.
No
Exactly.
changes being made.
No changes at all.
Now, I can understand Brian's point saying the world has changed, but the world's gonna change no matter. Whether they started it then or now, the world's still gonna change.
The option is either review for a very short time, so there's no change from the beginning or the end, or there's gonna be changes over the course of a long review process, which this was.
About
The longest in New York State's history, I believe.
Cliff, that
Yeah.
gentleman.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you were going to allow any more public comment?
if you have something to say, say it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Roger Wall. I'm the treasurer of the Council of Heritage Alliance, and I'm a resident of the Hamilton Pine Hill. And I have a very brief statement, and it's just to note that CHA's attorney did send the planning board 2 letters. I think you received one, and I know that the second one was very recent. I don't know if you.
Yes.
Yes, we have it.
You have it, okay, because I have copies here in case you didn't. And I just wanted to summarize Attorney Bramer's point, which is that her request on our behalf was that this not take any action tonight on the permit, but to, because of this issue of expiration without issue of its building permits, that it actually be referred to the town council. And I know the chairman made some allusion to case law having cleared that with the town council. That's, of course, news to me. I don't know if it's, if our attorney is aware of that, but I guess that's something that would be of interest to the public, because I think this question of renewal of permits, even the Crossroads is the case before you, is, as you mentioned, with the Baptist camp, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of projects coming down the road where this is an issue of confusion for the public, and it's a public policy issue, not kind of a, process question, as much as the merits, the pluses and minuses of a particular project. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Were you living at your house when the first proposal came through?
I've had my house since 2001.
You have anything in writing from him?
I do. So this is I'm going to read out loud the letter I received from our lawyer. Dear Chairman Rebuffo and board members, I received a copy of a letter dated March 6, 2023 to the board from Bramer Law concerning the above matter, Crossroads Venture Special Use Permit Extension. You have inquired whether Crossroads Venture Special Use Permit may be renewed by the board. You have informed me that Crossroads has annually requested an extension of the special use permit, and the board has granted such extension requests. The Bramer letter cites 116-45 of the town zoning code, which states that a special use permit shall expire if a building permit for the special use permit activity is not issued within 1 year of the date of issuance of the special use permit. You can tell that came from the code. However, the case law is well settled that even when a zoning code contains such a permit expiration provision, a board possesses the legal authority to extend a special use permit, and that a request for the permit extension is not treated as a new application. Then the references: New York Life Insurance Company versus Galvin, 35 NY 2D 52, 2D Department 1974. And then another case, Ninny versus Gould, 178 AD 2D 832, in parentheses 3D Department 1991. Very truly yours, Benjamin Galley. I think that answers to that.
To the code.
I mean, this is a renewal for another year. It's not, it's not an unlimited license to keep going forever and ever. And then next year, we'll see what kind of progress they've made.
Well, we have to go what's in the code. All this business about it's too long or too short, that's all arbitrary. I decide, well, a year and a half is too long. and Brian says, well, 4 years, and everybody's got a different idea of how long. But the only thing that matters is what the code says, and the code doesn't say that 20 years is too long, or 18
This
years.
is
or
a very
a week
complicated.
and a half is too long. It's whatever somebody thinks is too long. So everybody in the room probably thinks. And plus, it's not our job to criticize somebody because they didn't make any progress. Well, I didn't make any progress today either, so who's gonna yell at me?
So
What's the
They haven't
procedure
made
here? Is this a
progress.
simple motion?
We need just need a motion and a.
And
yes.
we've got the information that was required from our attorney and.
Yes.
I move we extend it for another year.
Okay, roll call.
Second.
Oh, I'll second.
Cliff Rebuffo,
Yes.
Art Christie,
Yes.
Joanne Calb,
Yes.
John Horn,
Yes.
Alan Shiner, Sam Spada.
Yes.
Vivian Welton.
I'm gonna vote no with the understanding that I'm outvoted, and I just wanted to make a statement that I'm just not comfortable with it.
And the
Because
reason?
the reason is that I'm on the comprehensive plan committee, and it just seems to be the fact that it's such a big project that made such an investment. We're waiting their application on that basis, which I understand. You know, we don't want to inconvenience them after they've invested so much. But to me, the precedent that it sets, that a big project like that can automatically have that much weight just because it's big. You know, on the comprehensive plan committee, we have to really address how large a project should be to be right for the community, and we're revisiting that kind of thing. So knowing that it's going to be extended anyway, I'm voting no on that basis.
Okay.
Well, how long until the comprehensive plan is approved?
Yeah, God knows.
Well, a year probably.
A year.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
incredibly lucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Is this new one in, or either this one, Peter?
Okay. Moving on to new business, Peter, Ryan, and Karen Stites.
Another one?
One more for
Thanks. One more for Vivian.
for Vivian.
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. And you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Who laid this out?
So, we purchased the property in, 2 years ago and renovated it over on 42. And, there was a lot line problem from many, many, many years ago, 40 years ago. It's Mark and Patty Jeffries behind the Mountain Brook. They have a garage that was on the property that we purchased. So we talked with Olivia and Don and Mark and decided to, try to get the line corrected so we're meeting building code, and also it's gonna just improve Mark and Patty's yard just a little bit, on the outside of their house. So this is something that we are, we try to just improve the neighborhood. We actually own 2 other houses across the street also.
Who's who on this map? Who's
Yeah.
who?
Don, could you come and explain this to me?
Are they gonna move this line to here?
You're moving the green to the black.
The green to the black, okay.
We haven't changed the acreage.
So it's the
Either
same, it's
lot.
like for like.
The acreage on both lots are the same. Mark Jeffries' lot is this lot right here.
Okay.
And for some reason in the past, the property lines were such that his garage wasn't even on his property. So we're trying to fix that situation.
This is Pete Ryan.
And also we pulled the property line off of his house so it meets zoning.
Oh, okay,
here.
the setback.
So between this little sliver and this little sliver here, that equals
Okay.
This
So
one,
what we're saying, the green was original, the black is now.
correct.
right. Oh, okay.
How big of a setback have you created?
It meets the zoning,
What is the zoning? 1.5?
And he was saying that there would have to be equal size lots?
25 feet.
That's why we have to get.
25 feet?
Yeah, sides, 50 feet front.
So we made sure
But
that we meet
when
all
this says the
setbacks.
red lettering, that's what's currently,
Now,
Yeah,
this is
red
the
is
creek.
current,
and what is
and
the
this is
final?
what.
This is
the
Route
final
42?
line's gonna look
So
like.
what's the final acreage gonna
It's
be?
exactly
And-
the same.
Which is north.
As,
Orient
as
is
what it
fine.
was?
Pressville's
as what it
that
was.
way.
Oh,
Yeah,
got
it was
it, okay.
2.531,
Pat'sville's that
we
way?
added this property to.
Okay, got it.
I don't wanna interrupt what you guys are doing, but it's really hard for her to do minutes when
Right.
we've got multiple conversations going on at the same time. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
So Prattsville's this way.
Mhm.
28's down there.
Are there any physical changes being made to property or buildings, improvements of any kind?
No.
No.
We've applied for a building permit and we completed it on 5/38. Did new electric in that building and new furnace, new floors, new kitchen.
Is it occupied now?
It is not, actually. This, we have a current buyer for it.
But this change needs to be made first.
Understood.
Peter wants to make sure that
So it's just a lot line, no physical
Where is
change.
the house? Don, describe it to me, where it is. Not on the map.
you know where the Mountain Brook is?
Yeah,
That's right here.
okay.
That's the Mountain Brook.
So it's
Right
across
here.
the street from
Yeah.
the mountain.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
It's behind it.
it's behind you.
Yep.
Across the.
Behind the mountain brook.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where Mark Jeffries lives.
Okay.
Mark and Patty.
Yeah, okay.
And this house up here has been up there for vacant for I don't know how many years, but Peter's fixed it all up and now it's new buyers are ready to move in, but they want to get this boundary line adjusted.
What's the zoning here, Don?
I believe it's an acre and a half.
Application
It's
says
R5. It's R5.
These are pretty crispy.
Oh.
Well, you didn't change that.
I didn't change that, the acreage.
No, it's just,
The
one-
acreage is
they're
the same.
swapping it for
Same
the,
on both lots as we started.
So it was 2.531 and it stays 2.531. It was 4849 and it stays 4.849. Okay.
okay. Okay, good.
Fixing a problem?
We're trying to fix the
Yeah.
problem before it gets sold.
So it's a non-conforming use, but we're not making it worse in terms of
And
acreage.
it's a net improvement because they're fixing a,
And Peter doesn't own any of these houses next to him.
Peter owns this house over here.
Yeah, it's not adjoining.
Yeah,
So,
all right. Good.
I have no comments.
all right,
What's next step?
A motion?
yeah.
To approve the lot line adjustment? So moved.
Somebody else. Second.
Yeah, I'll second that.
I'll let you go down and
Cliff Rebuffo,
Yes.
Art Christie,
Yes,
Joanne Cal,
Yes.
John Horn,
Yes.
Alan Shiner, Sam Spada,
Yes.
Vivian Welton.
Yes.
I appreciate it, guys.
Good luck.
We'll continue to improve the area. Thank you.
Who doesn't want their maps?
Me?
Not me.
I'll get the Mylar made and
Yeah.
put it in here.
Thanks, Don.
Oops, sorry.
And a similar one coming next time.
I'm sorry?
And a similar one coming next time.
Oh, next one. Okay, next up we have Allison Smith.
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to, well, I didn't think about the paperwork until I actually got here. I didn't know what I needed to do.
Put copies in their folder.
Yeah.
There's copies in your folder.
Yeah, everyone got, yeah.
bicycles.
But I don't know what to say.
It's in there.
over it with us at a workshop. Why don't you just go over it again?
Okay,
briefly?
I just wanted to, provide, rental sports equipment bikes to the local community, to maybe people that are coming up to the Airbnbs, find them growing. And there's a lot of like, between 30 and 40-year-olds that, teeny bit of a walk, but probably would like convenience a little bit more. So I decided to do that, deliver them into town.
And if I remember correct, you want to keep the bicycles on your property,
Yeah.
but people are not going to be coming to your property.
Nobody's coming to the property.
You will deliver it to them and pick it up.
Right. I'm just a hop and a skip from town.
Is there an application? I can't find anything.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Could have sworn I don't gave everybody one.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it there.
Would have been an application, a map, a sketch of the house, so you knew dimensions and where she was putting.
The garage is already existing, isn't it?
There's two.
Shed.
Yeah, and that's where you're
One
gonna,
shed, one like a garage.
and that's where you're gonna keep your bicycle.
She's got the original if you guys want
Yeah,
to
I'm
keep
sorry,
it.
I could have sworn I gave everybody one.
Oh, maybe it's here and I was looking for the wrong thing.
I'm okay,
I know you were at the workshop.
Okay, this is the same thing?
Yes,
I had it
that
all
should be.
wrong. My apologies.
That's okay.
I have one, Olivia.
Okay, good.
I don't have one.
I know what's going on.
Joanne, do you need one?
Yes.
So the purpose tonight is to recommend for a public hearing, correct?
Yeah, if we've got all the information we need, right?
Is this being put through as a home occupation?
Has to.
Class 2. I feel like we discussed this quite a bit already. I'm pretty comfortable with what we have.
Oh, here.
As long as the paperwork's in order. Do we have a,
Do you wanna take a look? Cliff, did you copy?
oh,
Yeah.
So we got an application checklist, we got a short form EAF.
we do have a, that's what I was gonna ask.
We went through this pretty good the first time, Sam.
Right. I don't think you had an EAF though that day. I don't think we had the EAF, environmental assessment form.
Yeah. We didn't have that drawing either.
No.
Not,
But it's,
it's all within
it's,
existing.
nothing's
structures.
changing. The buildings are there.
The materials seem to support everything that we were told. I guess that was during a workshop or was it a meeting? I'm trying to remember.
It was the workshop.
It was the workshop.
It was, okay.
They all run together though, don't they?
Do we need to read the EAF into the record or?
We can just review it and.
Okay,
note
good.
any comments, yeah. It looks good to me.
Yeah.
Anyone else not get to see it?
Sorry.
You get to-
I
John, got one?
So
Yeah.
we need a motion to go to public hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. You're on your way, young lady.
Okay, thank you.
All in
So you're gonna
favor?
come back.
All in favor?
It'll be May 10th.
Aye.
You don't want to keep,
Okay,
okay.
what do we now? You come right here. Just come here. Yep, right.
No, you're done.
All right, thank you so much.
Hang on, don't
Wait,
leave yet.
am I good? I'm sorry.
May, we're looking at May 10th, yeah?
Yes.
Here you go.
So, 6:45 on May 10th. Yeah, so come back, it's a little before the regular meeting, and, yeah.
Your neighbors will be informed, they'll letters to abutting residences across the way, and they'll be invited to speak if they wish.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, moving right along, Sola Estate. This is the one that spans towns, right?
Yes, this is, Janet also.
This is the one that's been.
And then, yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Upside down.
For each one for me. Thank you.
50 chance.
It's, Cross Valley. It spans town line. This is all Denning. It's just this little piece of it, Shandaken, so we just requested they file over town.
Yeah.
It's pretty, nothing really takes place.
That's the proposed new lot line in red. Okay.
Big 5 out of 40 acres.
One's 34 acres and one's 41 acres.
Plus.
I think it's big enough. What line's being abandoned? The red line is new, right?
The vertical blue line.
The vertical, that's the one.
Yeah, with the
Well,
land
that's the
hub.
line.
Yep, I remember. It says,
Yes.
the one that says to be removed? Okay.
Yes, he said it was being abandoned.
I don't see any issue here at all.
And access to the properties is from this point here to both properties?
It looks.
There's a road, not a road, but a little.
Oh, that's on,
flag.
that's
There's a
on
flag.
Frost Valley Road, okay.
Yeah.
So they got frontage, and this is an entrance for this property. Okay.
And they actually own them.
So it's another swap, yeah, I see.
I think we reviewed the EAF when we were here even.
Yeah, somebody else from my office.
That's right.
You work for Brooks and Brooks?
Now Control Point Associates, but yes,
That's right, he sold, didn't he?
they did. Yep, last October.
He was a very hard worker, him and his wife. I'm glad to see them.
Well, they're not retired yet. 3 to 5 years left.
Oh, okay.
They retire
Get-
like you retire, Art.
Hold on, I've been using that business card as a
Oh, I
marker.
have one. I have it, but I don't know if it's true.
Short form EAF looks to be in order.
Town of Denning has approved this
They
already?
have.
Swapping who pays taxes on the view.
Do you have
And
any
I
questions?
do have.
No, my questions are answered.
Yeah.
I'll hang out till after the meeting. Everyone had a chance to review everything, application, EAF, map?
Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay, if everything's in order, I'll take a motion to approve.
I will make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Roll call.
Cliff Rebuffo?
Yes.
Art Christie?
Yes,
Joanne Cal?
Yes.
John Horn?
Yeah.
Alan Shiner? Sam Spada?
Yes?
Vivian Wilson? Of course.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right.
Motion to adjourn?
Second, need a second?
yeah.
Second.
Second, of course.
All in favor?
Aye.
Peter, do you have something to say? I saw you lean forward.
Do we have any honored guests?
Yeah.
I just wanted to, yes, but
didn't we just do this like?
It was like in 2019.
It was October 2020.
Seems like just
Okay.
yesterday.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, I don't even remember. I have like amnesia from that.
We're not gonna,
Yeah.
we're not gonna raise building permits, right?
The comprehensive plan committee wanted to talk to the board about something.
You know,
Isn't that
not
right?
everything needs to be raised.
Does
Some
have-
things, if you wanna lower them,
I think-
but there's some
I
things
think
that
it
we
was kind of amorphous.
that we never touched.
It was kind of amorphous, I
Raised
didn't
up.
really understand.
We'll have that for the workshop?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Oh, I know what it was, just to see if there's any questions that we should put on the survey that we're sending out to the community.
Oh,
So, they just wanted to know if the planning board had any suggestions for questions for the survey.
Okay. That's a workshop issue at this point.
Yeah,
yeah.
We are
Yeah.
officially adjourned, yes.
yes.
Yeah, just for, yeah, just remind us.
Okay, I mean, it's just to put the idea in your head to think
Sure,
about
no,
it.
as far as, yeah, get the gears turning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like circus.
Should be.
That's why I was
Ellen, yeah, ask Ellen.
Hillary Smith.
Ellen, John was asking if the comprehensive plan meeting.
Enjoy the springtime.
Are they on YouTube?
That's what's gonna happen with me.
Yeah. And they're also broadcast on the public access channel.
Want me to carry this for you?
I don't
Grace, you
either.
look worn out today.
Yeah.
Grace,
Yes.
you're looking worn out today.
Am I? Thank you.
Did they work you over, did they
Hold
work
on,
you
I
over
think-
downstairs or what?
I think,
Nothing but joy and happiness.
Happiness.
I think you look beautiful.
Thank you.
You know-
He called me Gloria.
I called the Gloria at the meeting.
He called me Gloria, which is a compliment, I know, but still, come on.
That was his old
God.
secretary, you know, Gloria Braven.
I've run across on 2 separate occasions now files that she worked in with sticky notes, and she typed her sticky notes on a typewriter.
Oh, yeah.
And that is dedication that I have never.
She used to send all the planning board stuff for the next meeting by mail, because Bob was on the planning board then, and he would get it 10 days before the meeting.
Amazing.
That's what I don't know how she did it.
Much more together than me.
Gloria had a quit typewriter.
A typewriter.
We were talking about a subdivision. I was the subdivision. And the surveyor says, you can't put a road there, it's all full of the councilman. Gloria was like this.
The Democratic, yeah, the primary candidates, all four, I think they all
She
did
was
the
good, though.
petitioning satisfactorily.
Nobody quit.
No, I think they all got the petitions in and they look good and, there were enough.
They all, well,
You probably know more about it than I do.
well, I got copies of all of them, so I know.
You got copies, because you can review them to see if you wanna,
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I saw a couple of people who were not Democrats.
Well, they could check that at the Board of Elections.
I don't know, I don't think they.
I mean, the thing is that if they're actually on the rolls,